Hello, hello! Today I will be going over something different for a change. I was given the preview versions of, or a preview of all the Russian cruisers. So obviously the one that gets most my interest is the T10 one, since that's the one I will obviously be grinding for once these cruisers actually come out. This is the Russian T10 cruiser, Moskva. And this is, I think, my 6th game in it so far. And these are my impressions of the ship so far. Now since I have a lot of credits and I don't care about using, basically spending them, I bought full upgrades for the ship. So with the concealment upgrade and using my Merman's captain, my Mikhail captain nowadays, I managed to get the concealment down to 13.8. Now that's by no means great, especially compared to stuff like Zao, which basically gets 4 kilometers less. But 13.8 is somewhat manageable. The rudder shift isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I think it's gotten buffed a bit compared to what the patch notes said, or maybe it's just the help of the modules and so forth, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought. The ship itself seems... If I had to describe the ship, I would say it's a combination of the Hindenburg and the Zao, but with the turret placements of a Des Moines. Now, at first glance, this sounds very OP, but the fact that you're always detected and you're basically never really able to sneak up on anyone kind of seems to hinder that whole OP factor quite a bit. Of course, it does have some very, very nice things. First of all, the fact that it has the radar sweep, and at the moment, I'm not certain about this Hydra. I feel like it's gotten some sort of buffed Hydra. I think this ship is using the post-patch, basically, Hydro. The one that's supposed to be... I'm not certain if it's intended to be in the game yet, but you can see the AP is very potent even at range. Easily citadeling that Tataga, but then again, that's not something special to this ship. Pretty much every cruiser in the game can do this, but it's nice to see that it's at least as consistent as they are. The arcs are mostly, honestly, like Zao arcs, except the shells are heavier since they're a larger caliber, so they actually lose less speed at the end. So pumping out damage at the max range really isn't difficult at all on this ship. I opted for the faster reload for better DPM, much like I play my Hindenburg, because honestly I don't see the point of going for additional range and getting like 20 kilometers plus range. I never really sit that far back anyway. But you can see the accuracy, like especially against stuff like DDs, is very, very good. I'm very consistently and very easily able to just wreck DDs that get within, I'd say, 14 kilometers. Very easy to kill them. So the shells are very nice. Like the firing mechanics on the ship are very, very satisfying. I'm being heavily focused, as you can see, from every direction, but honestly, because I'm angled against the battleships and the Hindenburg, I'm just slowing down and going into full reverse. Basically letting my team catch up, because as usual I'm being a bit more aggressive than everyone else. This Hindenburg is reversing to get some damage into me, as you can see. He's 16 kilometers away, but this is a huge mistake because the AP on the ship is just as potent as the HE, so I instantly just switch to AP and I just start laying it in. I'm pretty sure he's panicking now, going from full reverse into full speeding up. Yeah, that's what he's doing, but you can see how many citadels I'm just raining down on him. This is, 16 kilometers, easily getting citadeled. But then again, he is giving me full broadside, and the Hindenburg isn't exactly known for its armor. So once again, nothing different, nothing in particular special, just the fact that he was dumb enough to give me broadside. Now, overall, I've been quite satisfied, but the combination of the Hydro and the radar sweep seems to make this a very, very potent anti-DD ship. Like, you don't have to worry about DDs at all. I mean, most of the time you're actually hunting DDs, or you quite actively try to hunt down DDs and push into them, which is kind of satisfying because the only one you can even remotely do something similar on before this is the Hindenburg. But with this ship, you're truly a counter to DDs, and that's actually quite satisfying for a change. I mean, I'm so tired of the cruisers when battleship captains tell you to go hunt down the DDs when you're in a cruiser and you just facepalm, because basically it shows that they have no idea how the game works, because right now cruisers do not counter DDs. I mean, one Shimikaze torp blasts half your HP away. you can't do really shit about them. But this Moskva is actually very, very potent at hunting down DDs and literally just pushing into them, because the combination of hydroacoustic makes you immune to being torped. And then when you have an inkling of a DD being nearby, you just pop radar sweep, and you spot them and you pump out a lot of damage. For Domination Mode, it seems the radar sweep is much more potent though. I've been using it to secure caps for my team. Basically I tell my DDs to go here and I will radar sweep it, and they go in there, and as soon as the point gets challenged, I basically tell my team, I'm pinging the point and I can show you a clip after this game basically where I'm doing it. I ping my team and tell them how to go for the cap, and then I radar sweep it and just push away the enemy DDs and secure the cap. It's a very, very strong tool, and for Domination especially, it's a huge game changer, honestly. It's basically, it means that you have more power in contesting points besides simply like having gunboat DDs, which is a very nice change. Honestly, this cruiser feels a bit like a jack of all trades. The AA on it isn't that impressive, like in pure stats wise, but it's not bad AA either. But it's nowhere near something like the Des Moines or the Hindenburg, which I think is good because it should have some weaknesses, of course. You can see that was the gearing again, easily hitting him that far away with these shells. So far the Moskva seems like a bit of jack of all trades. I mean, the HP pool, at first you look at it and Jesus Christ, it's got 65k HP. This thing seems broken, but then you take into consideration that the AA not being that special means it's much more vulnerable to CVs. The huge size, and can you see how high it rides in the water? There's basically a lot of surface area to fire at on this ship, which means this combined with the bad concealment and this fairly sluggish rudder traverse means that battleships basically love you. They just love shooting at you. I mean, this is less of a cruiser at this point and more of a light battleship. But honestly, it's not that bad. It's a refreshing change. So far, I've been hesitant to call the ship itself OP because so far most of the really strong aspects I've found have been mostly because of radar sweep, not because of the ship itself. Like the armor on this is definitively nothing special. You saw that was a gearing that did 3.5k to me with AP from that range. So as I said, the armor really isn't anything special. And the citadel size on it seems quite large. Honestly, battleships especially have had a holiday of just citadeling me. And I can show you a clip when I fought Rascaria, who was also in a Moskva, and just how badly I was able to completely dominate him with citadels on him, because I basically caught him by surprise a bit. And just the citadel size on the ship is definitively large. So I'm hesitant to straight up call this ship overpowered, but it most certainly is a strong cruiser. Of that there can be no doubt. A very strong cruiser. But the AP on this ship, it's not as strong as the Hindenburg AP. I was a bit worried that having this ship would basically make the Hindenburg obsolete, but there was really, in the end, those worries were unfounded, because oftentimes I found myself regretting using AP on battleships in this ship, because I could have done more damage or been more effective with HE. Whereas in the Hindenburg you can do these huge 10-12k salvos with AP, and I haven't been able to replicate that in the Moskva, even though I've tried. So the pure AP DPM is nowhere near the Hindenburg, and overall the DPM comes nowhere near the Des Moines either. It's still absolutely the king of damage. But this one seems like a bit of a jack of all trades, except the fact that it has no torpedoes and no fighter plane, or spotter plane for that matter. So it's a different type of cruiser, but it seems quite strong. Like it seems honestly quite fun as well, but you have to play it more carefully, that's for sure. The lack of concealment makes it very easy to get caught out in a bad position. Like the first couple of games I ended up dying quite quickly because I tried to play it somewhat similarly to my other cruisers, and that just doesn't work. The concealment is too much of a crippling issue. You see once again, by the way, what I talked about, how punishing this is against DDs. 10 kilometers away is so easy to land the shells. The grouping of the shells is great, the accuracy is great, it's just very, very brutal. Am I gonna actually get this kill? I had a fair amount of kills taken from me so far. No, of course I don't get that kill either. But overall, it's a satisfying ship, but it remains to be seen. I think I need to play it a bit more to decide if this truly is what I would consider OP. Right now I have a hard time as labeling it straight as OP because the size and concealment on it means it's very easy to counter. Like, it's very strong against enemy cruisers, but only if it manages to catch the enemy cruisers fighting someone else. It has no hope of ever surprising a cruiser that isn't already fighting someone else. That just doesn't happen. Not with this concealment, not with this size. Someone is going to ruin that I was shooting at earlier and got killed. First he complains about noobs, then he complains about cheating aim mods. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with an aimbot. I've never noticed anyone with it. It's possible they might have been using, but honestly it's so impossible to tell if someone is just a good aimer using aim mod that I kind of assume that no one cheats. Anyway, this Amagi, he is trying to salvage this cap point. The fire chance is supposed to be very high, like when I use Demolition Expert and it says that fire chance is 20%, but it doesn't feel like 20%. It feels nowhere near 20%. In fact, in this game again, like 160 hits, 8 fires. Okay, then again I've been using some AP as well, but overall, I don't know, it could be just me having bad RNG, because now when I complain about it I just get fire after fire after fire, so it could be just RNG is RNG. Here I know there's gearing, so now when I start focusing on this Hindenburg, I just pop Hydra. Now I don't need to worry about any possible torps catching me in the side as I hunt down this Hindenburg. Switching to AP for the broadside. No Citadel this time, because he's turning away and it kind of dips his the side of that broadside, it dips it under the water, so it makes it hard to actually hit it. You can see how much his ship dips. If he would keep turning now, then he would basically expose his Citadel completely, which would make it easy to hit, but he's not doing that. I actually want to see how well will my AP even be able to penetrate from this angle. Like, usually cruiser AP is very, very bad at penetrating from against angled ships. I want to see if this 200 and is it 20mm guns, if they change this or if it's still the same. Honestly, this doesn't seem any different than normal cruiser AP. My damage is very inconsistent, and if I get any damage, it's basically one lucky penetration or something. But overall, this seems very much like every other. I was a bit worried that with these bigger caliber guns that the AP would be ridiculous, like you could just pen cruisers with ease, but so far it doesn't seem to be. This is like any other cruiser, you angle against it and suddenly the AP loses all its strength, so definitively time to switch to HE here. More consistent damage and of course fires. Switching to AP since he's giving broadside. Oh, broke his engine with the HE. I don't know how much of that was these large shells and how much was just the Hindenburg being a German cruiser. Oh, shooting a bit too far in the front. Wow, no Citadel still. Oh well, he's dead now though. That was actually a good idea. Got to test a bit the AP, but obviously has no effect. No way those will reach me. It was too far away. Those are 6km torps. Yeah, they ran out. But this here I get to show again the shell arcs, how good they are. The gearing is 14 kilometers away, and you don't even have to take that much of a lead. But with the tight shell grouping and everything, you'll still be able to score hits. As you can see, very, very strong. Okay, someone's still there as well. Damn it! I would have even gotten Kraken if people wouldn't have stolen so many of my kills. This is a test ship though, so I don't get any money or XP, but you can see my damage, or well, you can see my scoreboard XP here, almost 3k, and Damage wise, yeah, you can see total 183k damage. Pretty spread out across everything, the damage, which is something I kinda expected with this ship. Hello, here I will, this is the next clip. I decided to add a few clips to my original commentary here. And here I have told my Fubuki to go capture B, and here I will show you the potency of the radar sweep. The Mikhail Kutuzov says there's a lot of Moskva above the water, easy to hit, and I agree. You can see how high it rides in the water. This is why I said also battleships really love shooting this guy. Anyways, I'm already telling my team, get ready for sweep on B, aim your guns, and I even pinged it. Now I got detected, so here is where I'm going to be hitting radar sweep. Bam. And suddenly Shimakaze shows up, and everyone tries to smoke up. It has no effect on my radar sweep. Everyone is focusing him. The Fubuki behind him also shows up because I'm radar sweeping. It only lasts 20 seconds. But it forced the smoke and he's panicking. The Fubuki is also bailing. They're both bailing the cap in a panic because they both got detected. They have no idea why. They're both being shot at. They both bailed. But here's the price I paid. Yamato, 22 kilometers away. Even though I was turning, but I was giving broadside of course, I still got hit with citadels. But here you can see how strong the sweep is at securing these caps. My Fubuki is now able to cap this because I scared away both DDs with the sweep. But that what was the weakness I talked about. When you do shit like this, you are such a juicy target. So how good it is once again, strengths but weaknesses. Here's another clip that I decided to include, which shows A, the power of the AP on this ship, and B, just how large the citadel is on this. Against me is Raskeria. You probably know him as Ferdinand on Twitch. He plays a lot of Zao, experienced cruiser captain. I kinda get the jump on him, but not really. But he's turning to show a lot of broadside, so I instantly switch to AP. And if you do that mistake in this ship, in the Moskva, showing this much broadside, you see how large that ship is, how easy of a target it is, and with the grouping of another cruiser, you get punished. And that's what I mean by you get punished. That's 4 citadels and pretty much all his HP gone. So this is a very, it has a lot of firepower, but it also has these huge weaknesses, as you can see. So it's a bit of a double-edged knife. So I think, honestly, I need to play this ship more to decide if I consider it overpowered or not. Or so far it's been a mixed bag of wow, that's really strong to holy shit, I just got destroyed. So far very interesting, very interesting. I'm also going to be reviewing the T8 ship very soon, the T8 Russian cruiser, because that's one of those ships that have been really interesting me, so I'm going to check it out next. But then there's stuff like this. I have no idea how that was a citadel, but so basically the plunging fire on a Moskva apparently can get you citadels from that angle. Just really weird. A citadel, yeah, even Raskeria is surprised. Neither of us really understand how that was a citadel, but as I said, we need to play these ships more to understand how to make the best out of them and basically make a complete informed opinion. But anyway, that was my bit of a first impressions on this ship. I hope you guys look at that damage. Yeah, anyways, that was a bit of a first impression from me on the Moskva.